What do you say, everybody? Mick Gillispie here to talk about the breaking news. Some reports coming out that Alabama is going to make a change at quarterback. We talked about it this week on Bama Tailgate Daily, and we're going to get into that right now. Heading into this game against South Florida, it looks like Alabama is going to make a change at QB. Not sure how permanent that is. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but we'll get into the reasons why and what could be going on right after I remind you guys to be part of this channel. Thank you for watching. Love having all of you guys here. Love the comment section. Keep it all coming. Like, subscribe, give us a thumbs up. We'll talk Alabama, and we're doing it for you. The situation looks like this. Going to this game against South Florida, some decisions had to be made, and basically that was who was going to start at quarterback for the Crimson Tide. Like I said, there's some reports coming out right now, specifically John Talty at 24/7 Sports is reporting that there's a change at quarterback. So he's the first one that's putting that out there. So assuming that his reporting is correct, then we're seeing a change right now. Let's talk about Buchner. Buchner came to Alabama from Notre Dame. Now, why is this significant? Well, because as you guys know, Bill O'Brien left, and then Tommy Rees was the guy that Nick Saban hired to be offensive coordinator. This was a spot, this offensive coordinator job, that has been really manned by some incredible offensive minds. But those guys have all gone on to get coaching jobs. Lane Kiffin is at Ole Miss, maybe one of the best offensive coordinators ever. We saw Steve Sarkisian last week dice up Alabama with an amazing scheme. He was the offensive coordinator. Bill O'Brien last year seemed like sometimes he was really good, and then sometimes, kind of a very boring style of offense, and eventually not a lot of creativity cost Alabama. He's in the NFL right now with the Patriots. Mike Loxley was one of the coordinators. He's Maryland's coach. And you can go on down the line. Brian Daboll, the manager, the head coach of the Giants, was the offensive coordinator. So there's been some guys in this spot who have done a really good job. And this is one of the younger guys that we've seen in Tommy Rees. He didn't look like he was real comfortable in that game calling it against Texas. And who knows, maybe that's because of personnel. Maybe it's just, first game jitters. Maybe it's whatever it is. All I know is that at Alabama, there's a high standard here of success. And, having a game like that, and I don't know that it's necessarily like win or lose. I mean, we all want to win, but everything about that game and the game plan was just not what we're used to seeing, and Alabama ended up losing. So we could talk about that, but let's stick to quarterbacks here, and let's talk more about Buchner. At Notre Dame, it's not like he's coming in with this amazing pedigree, and he was replaced by transfer portal quarterback Sam Hartman, who's one of the best quarterbacks in the country and may lead Notre Dame to the college football playoff. So Buchner was the odd man out, and he was a free agent, if you will. He decided to transfer. I was shocked that transfer destination was Alabama. I think some of you guys felt the same way, and it's this right here. 67 of 118, 56.8% completion rate. Isn't really, blowing us away in that category. Under 1,000 yards, pretty close to it, though. But the other stat here is one that's alarming to me as well. 6 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Now, he was injured last year, came back and had some really great moments in the Gator Bowl against South Carolina. Also had some bad moments, including a pick 6 that could have cost his team the game, but he got the ball back and took him down the field and scored. So we'll see if that relationship between those guys, Tommy Rees and Tyler Buchner, is something that helps generate some offense for Alabama, because there were a lot of struggles in that game, as I mentioned, against Texas. And I don't think that the blame all should fall on Jaylen Milroe. And I'm going to talk about that in a second. Now, high expectations here with this Crimson Tide program. Very high expectations. I mean, you're talking about a legacy of star quarterbacks, a recent legacy. I'm not talking about Joe Willie Namath and Snake Stabler and Jay Barker and those guys. I'm talking about recently, like right now. You're coming in after Jalen Hurts, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Tua, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL when he's healthy. And Mac Jones, a first-round pick. Those three guys, the last three quarterbacks that Alabama has had. And then we knew that there could be a drop-off, but I don't think that Alabama expected to fall off of a cliff. And the cliff against Texas was Milroe's 14 of 27, only completing 59.9% of his passes, throwing 2 bad interceptions, looking like he was confused in the pocket. Yeah, that's true. But it's also true that the snaps at times were really bad and gave him no chance to compete. And there were some bad snaps against Middle Tennessee, and he made the most of them, including picking one of them up and scoring on it. But, against good teams, Seth McLaughlin's got to get the ball to him. If he doesn't, then you know what? Maybe you need to go to the backup and let him get in there and see if he can snap, right? Brockermeyer. So this same standard should be held for every single player on the field if they're not taking care of their business. Caden Proctor, you got to block. You got to be in position that they can't tell whether it's a run or a pass. These are true freshman growing pains that affected Jaylen Milroe's ability to do his job. And if this report's true, he's one of the casualties of things not going well against Texas. And we'll find out on Saturday. And I said this in another video. I'm going to say this again right now. If Tommy Rees is smart, even if Buchner's the starting quarterback, say just he's great. Say he gets in there, he runs the offense, and he's like Jay Coker running the offense for Alabama in 2015 after the loss to Ole Miss, takes over, runs with it, and Alabama starts winning games. And, who knows, maybe they win a national championship. That doesn't mean that Jaylen Milroe can't be part of the offense. He is a dynamic weapon, and he needs to be used that way. Bill O'Brien last year missed an opportunity to get this guy in the game, to get this guy in the game plan, to have plays for him. There's a lot of different ways that you can use a superstar athlete and a guy that can play quarterback in Jaylen Milroe, even if he's not the starting QB. So that's the challenge that Alabama has moving forward. So again, according to reports, it's Tyler Buchner to start at quarterback against South Florida, 2:30 on Saturday. And we'll see how that affects Alabama's offense moving forward. Again, guys, thanks for being here. We'll keep you updated if anything drops. If it comes out that report from 24/7 Sports is incorrect, we'll let you know that as well. But having watched Nick Saban's press conferences and from what I've heard, around the program, this wouldn't surprise me at all if he doesn't get an opportunity. So maybe that comes on Saturday, and that's what the reports are saying right now. All right, thank you guys for being part of the channel. And don't forget, too, that I'm giving away a full-size Jalen Hurts Daniel Moore print from New Life Art once we get to 1,000 subscribers. We're really close now. So like and share, tell your friends about it. Make sure that you're part of the channel, subscribe. And when we get to 1,000, I'm going to pick one of you guys out, and you're going to open it up the mail one day, and you're going to have that baby in there. And it's a great print of him in that amazing comeback against Georgia called Crimson Redemption. It is one of Daniel Moore's best prints and a really big win for Alabama in the SEC championship game. So say Roll Tide and join the Bama Tailgate channel. Also, tonight we're live at 5 o'clock with the Tailgate Show, the original Bama football tailgate show. And we're going to have it for you 5 o'clock from the floor of Bama. So make sure that you're here for that as well. I'm Mick Gillispie. Thanks for hanging, guys. Talk to you in the comments section. Roll Tide.